Happy Wednesday. Today's Earth Day, so if you're watching this later, go celebrate the Earth still. I have an Earth Day playlist if you follow me on Spotify and want to add that. But we'll just maybe focus on grounding today. It's a beautiful day outside, so I hope you get to enjoy it. Take a moment to check in, just kind of notice how your body's feeling. Maybe set an intention for your practice or for your day as we root down into our feet and find that strong, stable base. Feel as though we are growing up, lifting, and inviting space into the entire body. And just kind of think about what you would like for your practice or your day to resemble. And go ahead and decide that for yourself. Notice the breath moving in and out of the body. As we inhale, we create space, we open, we expand. And as we exhale, we let go of anything that we don't need or that doesn't serve us. And then we'll start to add some gentle movement as we inhale. Arms will sweep up if we like, bringing the gaze to the fingers. Exhale as the hands just fold gently into the heart. Creating a little more expansion in the upper body and the chest. Then perhaps starting to add a gentle chair into our exhale. Hands can fold to the heart for now. Checking in, making sure we can see the toes. And then taking a moment to sink and meet in that chair. Option here to come into a twisted chair. Our knees will want to pop out of alignment, so we're trying to keep those together. Folding the hands into the heart before we start. We'll twist gently to your right. Left elbow can come to outer right thigh if it feels okay, or you can play with arm variations. And we'll exhale back to center, and then twist to the opposite side. Checking the knees, make sure we can spread the feet out. Exhale to center. Big full breath with our inhale, lift up, exhale the hands into the heart. Option to add a little marching variation here. So firing up through those legs. So as we inhale, we will lift one leg, bend at the knee. As we exhale, we just bring it back down, switch to the opposite leg. So feel free to add this. Feel free to do a variation where you just keep your toe on the mat. Adding a little balance, noticing that connection with the earth. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can even close your eyes. Fire up those other senses. So we'll do one more of each. Finish with the opposite leg from which you started. And as we exhale, we'll make our way into our first forward fold. So hinging at the hips, checking in, maybe just melting halfway to start. See how we're feeling. Then decide if we'd like it to melt a little bit deeper. And then perhaps adding some gentle movement, letting the hands create a little rainbow around the feet, moving at a pace that feels good for you. Noticing if this feels different from one side to the other. We'll meet at center. Big full breath. Inhale up. Exhale as the hands fold into the heart. Spreading the legs wide as we come into some moonflowers. So anchoring into the feet. Inhale as the arms sweep up. Exhale as we bend the knees. And then lift. So we have the option of doing just arms or just legs here. We also have the option of switching this up, changing to sunflowers. So hinging at the hips, arms sweep down. And remember to expand and open with our inhale and to release with our exhale. We'll meet at the top. Big full breath. Let the left hand fall to the side. Right arm will reach up and over. Invite as much space into the right side body as we can. And then we'll lower the right arm, reach the left arm up and over. Inhale as both arms sweep up. Exhale as we fold the hands into the heart. And we'll melt down, bending the knees gently, sinking into the hips, finding our moon pose. So hands can stay at the heart if we feel good. We can bring them to the hips, or arms can come wide. Your choice here. And then we'll inhale tall, 5-pointed star. Arms sweep overhead, hands fold into the center, rolling the shoulders forward a few times. So as we find movement and heat, we sometimes notice areas that we need to offer protection. Feel free to let that be reflected in your practice. And then we'll roll those shoulders back. Melt them down the spine. Slide them all the way back and down. And then we'll heel toe our way in. Make our way to the front of your mat. So whatever you would like to choose. I'm actually going to switch around here in just a moment. So if you're near a wall and you need to do the same thing, great option. So grounding into my right foot, that's how I'm going to start. Just remember you can do the opposite of me. And lifting that left leg again. So much like we did at the beginning. And we'll hold it here. So can we have all those options of lowering the leg, finding a focal point if we'd like, and we can choose to stay here or make our way into our warrior three pose. So as the upper body hinges forward, that left leg will come back and we can use the hands on the leg. We can bring them wide, bring them up by the ears. And we know we're perfect wherever our warrior three is. And then from there, use strength and power through that core center to just gently come back into a lunge. So we're stepping that left foot back. We can lift the heel if we'd like, or keep the foot nice and flat. And we'll move through a little breath flow here. So inhale as the arms sweep up, expand through the heart. And as we exhale, we can reach forward. Right shoulder toward right knee, doesn't have to get there, just gives us a nice target. Opening and expanding, and then melting and releasing. And then we'll meet at the top, and we'll allow our arms to come into cactus arms. So think about 90 degrees, or goalpost arms. I'll turn to the side really fast. And we allow that to invite space into the shoulders, activation through those scapular muscles, feeling strong and powerful here. And then we'll exhale to release this, open back to that long edge of the mat. Option to flow through moonflowers or sunflowers, or both. You can kind of change those up a little bit. We'll meet at the top, melting into that moon pose again, playing with those options as we start to feel fire and space coming into the hips and the glutes. Use the breath to counter that. Again, maybe closing the eyes, seeing how that changes the sensation. And with the inhale, we'll stand up tall, and we can heel toe our way in. If you want to move back to the same edge of the mat, I'm going to switch sides just so I can still face the camera, but we are going to just move through that in the same series, just on the opposite side. So anchoring down into the left foot, and we will start to lift the right leg, just like we did at the beginning. And then if you'd like to stay here, great option. Or we can make our way into our warrior three. Again, acknowledging one side might be really different than the other. As we come into that warrior three, we can play with those arm options. Whatever makes us feel the most stable. use that strong core center to gently lower back, finding lunge. Your choice of lunge. Holding there for a moment, and then we can stay or move into that sweeping movement. Arms open on our inhale. We reach on our exhale. We'll meet at the top. And then again, if we'd like, activating those shoulder muscles to come into some cactus arms. Releasing the arms, opening back to that long edge of the mat, flowing through moonflowers, sunflowers. Meeting at the top, coming back to that moon pose one more time. Notice how we feel a little different, a little more work, a little more fire. And that strong spine, core is active. We're lifting up through the crown of the head and pulling the shoulder blades back and down. With our next inhale, we come out of the pose. Let the hands come to rest on the legs. Hinge forward into a standing straddle split. We can stay with the body parallel to the floor. You could add a prop in if you're close to a wall or a chair or anything. You can walk the legs out. Kind of get to decide where we want to take our pose today. If it feels good, allow the head to hang heavy, the shoulders to release. And then we'll start to walk ourselves in. If we have open dog, make our way back to that standing position. And again, coming into that long side body stretch. Right arm reaches up and over. And then we'll lower it, let the left arm come up and over. And then we'll release that, heel toe our way back in. Come back into an extended mountain, arms sweep overhead. Exhale as we fold the hands into the heart, finding our chair, sinking here. Keeping the knees aligned as we twist left. Back to center. And then twisting right. And then back to center again. On our inhale, arms sweep up. We exhale to the heart. We roll the shoulders forward. And then we roll them in reverse. Melt them all the way back and down. And we'll make our way to the floor here. So if you like an extra layer or anything, feel free to grab it. Or if you're somewhere you haven't been using a mat, you want to grab your mat. So stepping to the front of the mat, whatever you choose to find. Arms will sweep up on our inhale. On our exhale, we'll swan dive to forward fold. Again, option to add that little bit of movement if it feels okay. And then we'll make our way to an all fours position. Varying this however you need to. Fist for wrist is nice. Spread those fingers nice and wide in starfish hands. Tucking the tailbone, dropping the crown, coming into our cat. Lingering there just to find space in the spine. And then lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, making our way into our cow. And back to a neutral spine, adding a little bit of twisting movement here in the upper body, bringing the right hand under the face, elbow is soft. And we're gonna bring our left hand to our left shoulder. As we inhale, we lift the elbow to the sky. As we exhale, we bring that left elbow to meet the right. So just a little flowing movement. Trying to keep the hips level here. If that's really hard for you, you can always walk the knees together and that will keep that low body from moving quite so much. We'll do this one more time, big open stretch, and then we'll go ahead and extend the arm long. And then as we exhale, we'll melt into a gentle child's pose, and we'll let that left arm reach underneath. We can rest on the forehead, or we can go ahead and turn to look at our left hand. Right fingertips walk away from the body, letting that right shoulder get a stretch as well. And then with an inhale, coming back to that all fours position, simply switching sides. So left hand comes under the face, right hand to the elbow, or right hand to the shoulder. Inhale as the elbow lifts, exhale as we draw them together. And the next time we're there, we'll let the arm extend long. And then we'll slide it underneath, melting into the right shoulder. Option to look to the right, or to the right hand. Or we can keep the forehead down. Left arm walks away, finding space. And then we'll reach both arms out and just take a moment to hang out in child's pose. When you're ready, pressing back up, sweeping the feet around, and coming into a roll down position. You want to create that fire in the belly, feel those core muscles engage. We can come into your version of boat, whatever that looks like right now, and just gently work our way to the floor, using control. Or you could always just hook onto one or both legs, rock back, and make your way to that supine position. As we find ourselves there, just want to make sure we're comfortable here. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, giving it a hug. As we do, try to melt the shoulders to the floor or make adjustments so that you can let your lower body just fully relax. We're going to point and flex the toes a few times. And then we'll circle that right ankle in one direction, then the opposite direction. And then we're going to let the left hand reach for that right knee, gently drawing it across the body, coming into a spinal twist. Check that the right shoulder stays nice and anchored. You can let that arm go long, and you can turn to gaze toward that right hand. Again, using our inhale to expand and open into our twist, and our exhale to let go of tension. Then we'll bring the right knee back into the heart. Big hug. Left leg comes in as well. Gentle ball, perhaps rocking side to side. And we let the right leg go long. Left leg stays in. Shoulders are relaxed. And we can point and flex the toes here. You can hold on to the shin or the back of the leg, wherever feels good for you. We'll circle the ankle one direction, and then the opposite. And then we'll let the right hand come to the left knee, moving into that spinal twist. Again, perhaps taking the option of extending the left arm, turning to look over the left hand. And when you're ready, we'll make our way back to center. Left knee comes to the chest, right knee comes to join it, rocking side to side if it feels okay. And then we're going to let the legs go long. The knees don't have to be perfectly straight. We're just going to offer another opportunity to let that blood flow move down into the upper body. And we are going to point and flex the toes here. Kind of just notice how that feels. Getting a gentle stretch. And then we're going to circle the toes, moving them one direction and then the other. And then again, we'll press those heels to the sky. Try to find as much length and space in the back of the legs as we can. And then we'll relax the feet, draw the knees back into the chest. One last gentle ball here. And then making your way into Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. If it's corpse pose, if you're more comfortable in a seated position. If you want to find a longer relaxation, feel free to just turn the video off now. We're just going to focus on creating tension in the body and then relaxing it. So as we inhale, we're going to tighten the toes, the calves, the knees, the hips. So everything in the legs is squeezed, squeezed, squeezed. And as we exhale, we allow that to soften and release. Shake it out for a moment. And then we'll do the arms. So we make fists, we squeeze the forearms, the upper arms, the shoulders, even the shoulder blades here. Tighten up everything in those arms. And then exhale, allow it to go. Again, maybe find some wiggles, shake things out of it. And then we're going to tighten the trunk. So we're going to squeeze the abdominals and try to squeeze our chest, again our upper back. And then we'll let that go, shake it out. And then we're going to scrunch all the muscles up in our face, try to squeeze our scalp, our neck. Tighten, tighten, tighten. And then with your exhale, release it. Maybe find a little movement in the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw, whatever works. Maybe nodding the head side to side just a little bit. See if we've got any more tension going on there. And then as you're ready, we can bring the legs in or just gently start by rocking to one side. Press our way back into meeting in a seated position. Anchoring down into those sits bones. And we'll let the right hand walk away. Left arm reach up and over. Nice side stretch here, just to close our practice out. And then we'll let the left hand walk away. Right arm up and over. And sitting up tall, maybe bringing our thoughts back to our intention for a moment, how we want to spend the rest of our day. When you're ready, we'll fold the hands into the heart and we will close our practice with Namaste. Have a great day.